As the Bible tells us, walk in the Spirit and you will not gratify the desires of the flesh. So basically, if we want to overcome sin, we have to walk in the Spirit and not according to the flesh. And so whatever sin in your life you may be having problems with, the best thing is to basically be walking in the Spirit. And how do you walk in the Spirit? As the Bible tells us, those who walk in the Spirit have their minds on what the Spirit desires. And that's in Romans 8, verse 5. So I wanted to make this video to tell you, well, and also it says before in the verse, and those who walk in the flesh will uh, have their minds on what the flesh desires. Basically, if we want to walk in the flesh, of course, we would be walking like to what our own fleshly desires would want. But if we want to walk in the Spirit and live by the Spirit, then we put our minds to what the Spirit desires. And the Spirit wants, like, to basically to pray to God, maybe read scripture, maybe even set your mind on doing things that will um, glorify God, and not things that are merely just out of like want for entertainment or things like that. That we put our minds and set our minds and focus our minds on things that will glorify God. And I wanted to make this video to basically tell you this because I have struggled with lust for a while, but then I've recently been able to like um overcome it in my life, not through myself at all, but basically I would have to say completely through Christ. Because when I started putting up my own mind on Christ and what He's done on the cross, not just um basically the day I started realizing I was free from the sin, even though even though I've already committed that sin, I prayed to God about it, and I was like, and I just and I decided to just think, yeah, you know what? I'm free from it. I'm free. I know God's heard my prayer, and I know that, and I just went through went through believing that, and even though I had temptations, I seen how I basically um I basically through like basically through my want for Christ, I realized how bad that sin was, how much it will cost me, and how much it kind of will hurt me in the future, that I basically just didn't even want to necessarily do that, even though I had temptations. And later on, as I kept like fleeing from the sin, if I was tempted, realizing this, and then I basically was able to overcome the sin in my life. So, if um, so the best thing to do though is to walk in the Spirit, basically, because this will allow us to that will basically allow us to set our minds on God, and when we set our minds on Christ, we're no longer thinking about this sin, and we're not pondering it, and we're not like feeling the shame of it anymore. But if we're setting our minds on Christ and alone, like on Christ, then these things won't necessarily take control of our lives. And so, well, with that being said, I wanted to make this video to tell you this. God bless you, and I'll see you next video.